Let me get Brother Holson online first. I got Brother Holson and Mr. Holson. What's up, man? What's going on, bro?
Peace, brother. How you doing?
Peace. So, what do you think about this topic tonight? I said there's African American Revolution. I said there's Black America Civil War, and I'm trying to point out the fact that when it really comes down to it, in many ways, even though we may argue with disagree with Black achievement, even the people that we call bootlicking Negroes, all the people like that we just say irrelevant. But when it really comes down to it, in many ways, one way we're actually on the same side, because at least we're talking about the community. Some of us may be wrong or have different approaches, or we think they do, but I believe that we're all on one side. Then you got a part of the community that's completely out of control. That just people don't care, just whatever is whatever, and those are the people that basically like, whatever is whatever. I'm an individual. Don't talk to me about anything black. Those people are like that. I'm an individual. It's all individual, and this, that, and the other. I have no responsibility, or I don't have no obligation to the black community. I believe those are the two sides. What do you think about that? What's your analysis of that?
Well, yeah, I agree with that. I also think that what answer or what solutions you're going to get will depend on who you're talking to and what the way that they're looking at the problem. You know what I'm saying? Like if you're looking at the problem from somebody in the community and you're affected by the actions of the people in your community, and so you're dealing with it, in the battle, the midst of the beast, basically, and you're dealing with the ignorance of your people on a daily basis, you're going to have a certain take on things. If you kind of if you're looking at things from the perspective of, let's say, a scientist or an architect or an engineer, then you're going to get a whole different level of solutions in regards to that, because you're looking at the problem differently. You're looking at it from a systematic level. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So a lot of it depends on who you're talking to. I don't necessarily, if people want to say that, yeah, there's people in the community that's doing destructive things in the community, I mean, duh. Don't we all know that?
Yeah, no, right.
There's no argument about that. There's no debate about that. I think that the only thing that we debate about is the solutions to that. Like, what is the actual solution to the problem? And what I see from a lot of so-called black conservatives and people who say that they don't want nothing to do with Africa and they for America, I don't see any solutions from them. They're like scientists who set up an experiment, and then the rats don't behave the way they want the rats to behave. And instead of them, like most scientists, going, I wonder why that's happening. Maybe there's something that I should do in the system to make this this experiment go the way I want to, they'll go around and say, oh, these rats are dumb. These some dumb rats.
Yeah, these some dumb rats. Something wrong with the rats. Not something wrong with your experiment. There's something wrong with the rats. And like I said, when we come up with African, and I didn't get a chance to ask you about this. Before I get Black Achievement Online, before I get him to respond to that, right? Now, this is what I want to ask you about. That just a suggestion. I mean, anytime you talk about Africa, man, if I get the impression, if I was in a room full of some of these Negroes, I would get jumped and beaten up,
Yeah.
I'm like, Lord, yeah.
Think about it. Think about it, Kala. Think about it. What continent has been given the most negative propaganda since we've been in this country? So is it any surprise?
That's the root of it. That's the root of it. The negative propaganda, the negative image towards Africa is like that. Well, white people are flooding the continent right now. The Chinese are flooding there. You got people flooding there. And let me say something before I go on. Let me tell you about what Fresh Toe said. Fresh Toe said, well, I got Africans in D.C. Yeah, I know they're there. But are they really here? Even when Africans are in the United States, are they really here? In other words, we African Americans, we're here.
Right.
We're dealing with it. We understand racism and everything. A lot of times that goes over the average Nigerian or Ghanaian's head. Are they really here? Just because you're in the United States, don't mean you're really here. They're here trying to get the education, money, they're hustling.
And my thing is this, and I get this all the time, and it annoys the hell out of me. if I know that 2 plus 2 is 4, why is somebody going to come to me saying, well, Mr. Holistism, there's a lot of people out there who feel 2 plus 2 is 5. I don't give a shit about them. I don't care about, if there's an African on the continent that doesn't see an African in America as his brother or sister, why the hell do I care about that? Because there's enough of them that do.
There's enough of them that say, brother, man, I have so many land offers. I mean, really, y'all African Americans, y'all want land, man? We have government officials and high people, chiefs and everything, giving us land left and right on the continent, man, throughout the continent. Here, man, come here. We just don't have an organized, effective way of management. It's happening on a small scale, but I really do believe if our community was really mobilized, if we really want to give our youth jobs and opportunity, we'd be investing in industries and stuff like that to give our people a place to live and a future, but we can't get beyond the borders of the United States.
What are we doing? Are we running a popularity contest? Because if that's the case, then we're going to lose.
Right. The bottom line, you got to tell it like it is. And like I said, when we talk about liberation, my brother, everything has to be on the table. You can't take Africa off the table. Right away, like I said to my brother Black Achievement, he wanted to be like, when we start negotiating, they want to take Africa off the table. Then wait a minute, we're negotiating a position of weakness.
Well, let me say this, and I would love for you to bring him in because I want to talk to BA. But I want to just say this in regards to taking Africa off the table. John Henry Clark said something, and I want to know if anybody disagrees with his assessment. He said that when you think of, when you name yourself as a people, what should pop into your head automatically when you hear that name is a land and a culture.
Right.
Automatically. Now, what pops into your head when you hear black?
No place. Just black, whatever.
Just a void. When you say black, what pops into your place? What pops into your head when you hear Chinese?
You think of a Chinese, so you think of China.
When you hear an Italian, when you hear Korean,
Korea, Japan, you think of the Japanese. And
why do we refuse to identify ourselves with the motherland, with a land? It makes no sense.
And so you cannot have a culture without a land. You cannot have a culture without a land. A land produces a culture. But let me get a Black Achievement on the line. I got Thomas. I'm going to bring Thomas on, too. Black Achievement, you have Mr. Holmes on the line. You want to respond to that, brother?
Yeah, let me just say I understand and fully appreciate the fact that you don't give a damn about people who believe 2 plus 2 is equal to 5. I follow you. I just say respect people who don't give a damn about people, who murder people we claim we love, who rob, who steal, who cheat, who make our community a living, natural hell. When I say I don't give a damn about people, I can't. There we go.
Black Material, let me stop you right there. Now, what if we were able to take those same people, right, and we had prison colonies on the continent? We had land set with prison colonies. You would be against that?
Have them serve time in Africa?
Prison colonies, yeah. That's how America was started. That's how America started.
See, I mean, look, we got to. I don't even want. I cannot.
What is it about Africa that you guys are so apprehensive about? I suggest you get a map of Africa, and just look at it. I mean, the continent is go on Google Earth. The most beautiful landscape, the beautiful topography on the planet is Africa. You see, Taylor, you're making assumptions, man, that they're not in play. I'm not against what you're saying because it's in Africa. I wouldn't care if it was in Afghanistan or Jamaica. Setting up prisons for Americans in other countries is wrought with all types of issues. Minority group. Wait, you understand? Like I said, we are a minority group. Forget that we're American crap, That's the problem right there. America is the freaking death of us, man. We're going to die with this America thing, man. When you just shed that sacred cow of America, America has not revealed itself to us in 400 years. If we were America, we would be having this freaking conversation. That's the problem I have.
I feel personally,
I can't finish what I was saying.
Go ahead, B.A.
My only point is this. If we are going to progress, we got to have rules and regulations we live by. It can't be the wild, wild west. Every nigga do what he wants to do, okay, to anybody in our community, okay?
You know why it is that way, though?
I can't fix it. Let me just finish. Give me 30 seconds. I understand if you go and you mess with white folk, every black criminal know it's going to be repercussions for that. You can push dope, you can push heroin, you can pimp, you can do anything you want to do in our community, and it goes. Until you do something that's, you go murder a senior citizen or shoot your uncle or something like that, then we finally get around to giving you a little bit, okay? But other than that, is anything go? And I've had enough of that front. So that Michelle Alexander premise that everybody in jail is a political prisoner, go to hell with that, okay? Say that for somebody else. And let me I end right there. I'm sorry, Mr. Holmes. I end right there, sir. Okay.
Let me just say this. I agree. Listen, one of the reasons why I like talking to BA is because I get the sense that he's sincere.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's the one reason why I can, like, me and him will have a disagreement, but I don't ever look at him like he's some bootlegging Negro. I don't feel that about him. I feel that he's a sincere brother, and I can see that he's in pain by a lot of the stuff that goes on in our community, and I understand that. But my thing is, I really don't feel on a whole that we give a damn about these, like the issues that he's talking about with prisoners and people attacking people in our community and people running wild and buck wild. And the reason why I feel that we don't really care about that, if we really gave a damn about that, why don't we have a damn community? Every time we start talking about having a community or having a socioeconomic and political infrastructure that we control, I get attacked.
Right.
And we don't want to control the context that we live in, but then at the same time we want to regulate shit. You ain't regulating nothing unless you can control it.
Right. We don't have any import. We don't control any ports. We don't control anything. We don't have any shipping companies. We have nothing. We have no rail companies. We have nothing. All we know is just boys looking for a job in somebody's warehouse.
Now, I know that this doesn't apply. I know that this doesn't apply to BA, but there's a lot of brothers out here who's talking about they tired of this and they tired of that. But whenever I start talking about controlling our environment socially, economically, and politically, they attack me as a black. I'm a black nationalist, and like it's a dirty word. How are we gonna get control of our neighborhoods and our communities if we do not control them? I want somebody to answer that for me.